Okay, box to box, Bill. We're coming from Movies and More in Mossvale. I don't know about you, but when I've got a quiet night planned, I might quite often come here first.
That's the first place I go.
Anyway, I'm not prone to hyperbole, but that was one of the best first weeks of the final I've seen.
It was fantastic. The close games, like we said, which is what you want.
Yeah, you were over at Robertson, I was over at Hilltop.
Yep.
And I'm going to start with the two men's Premier League games. 3-2 to Maroolin in one of the greatest games I've seen, and Yarrambull's Spirit got them over the line 4-3 in extra time against Mossvale. They were two of the best games I've seen all year.
Well, we did predict it was going to be very tight, and that's how it turned out.
Yep. And what about the women over at Hampden Park? How did they go?
Well, a bit the same. In the reserve grade clash, Mossy Blacks went down 1-0 to Mittagong.
Yep.
Mossy saved a penalty, and it was tight, really tight game. Under 13s, Robertson lost to Mossvale, which is a major upset. Well, an upset.
Yep.
15s was a major. Mittagong lost to Yarrambull.
Yeah, I think both those two teams will probably still make the final. So well,
I don't know. Momentum's a big thing, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
And Danny didn't think so, but your Mossvale team got over Yarrambull, which must be pleasing.
Titanic game. What a game. On the big field, into a howling cold wind. Finished about 6:30 at night.
Yep, under lights. So look, it was the perfect first week of the final. In the reserve grade for men's, Mossvale continued their narrow victories over Hilltop 1-0.
Yes.
Exeter got up over Yarrambull, so Hilltop and will be Exeter this week.
Yep.
And in third grade, Bundy let a couple of late goals in, which sort of inflated the score against Bowral. And fortunately for Yarrambull, unfortunately for Mossvale, Yarrambull got over Mossvale in third grade in a penalty shootout. So it's some cracking games.
Oh, those old Yarrambull guys just keep beating Mossvale third grade on penalties.
Yeah, so it's nice to see most teams are still represented in the finals.
Every club.
Yep.
Every
and we
club.
Actually had last night, you and me were down at Church Road to see Chev take
Yes.
out the Youth Grade Cup against Bundanon 2-0.
And a good game.
Yeah, and the field down at Church Road was looking lovely. A few people out there, so it was great. So
Beautiful
all bodes
night.
well for Youth Grade next year, and well done to Chev.
Yes, youth grade's been fantastic this year.
Yeah, so we'll be back again next week.
Yes.
And hopefully we'll be able to give you a lead into the grand final.
Well, we will, yes.
And once again, thanks to our cameraman Paul over here at Movies and More, and a special thanks to Kelly Ewan, our new production executive.
Fantastic.
All right, see you
Next
next week,
week.
Bill. At the Hello Turf of David Woods, about to preview all this weekend's games. If it's any good as last week, Bill, we're in for a treat.
Yeah, no, some great results, some big results, and some really close games as we predicted.
Yep, here we are with the match ball. You know, I like a prop. Get straight into it. Can Robertson Maroon bounce back in the 13s? I think they can.
I think they probably can. That would have been a bit of a shock to them, but yes, I think they can.
And I also think Mittagong in the 15s, probably the shock they needed, and I predict them to go all the way now.
Well, okay. Yeah, look, it'll be tight, but yes, probably.
And youth grade, I think this is almost game of the round.
Yeah.
Wallandilly and Bundanon.
Look, I haven't seen Wallandilly this year. You'd be more of an expert in youth grade.
But all those games just had a sort of a goal between them, and Bundy will be smarting from last night's loss in the HSA Cup, and I think they'll want to make the finals.
And Bundy played well in the second half of that cup final. So
They did indeed.
yeah.
And who will your team be facing in the Premier League final? Will it be Yarrambull or Robbo?
There you go. It's all about momentum, really. Look, on paper, Yarrambull should win, but Robbo got momentum.
Yep.
Who's to say they can't do it?
And in the men's, can Hilltop bounce back after that narrow loss and take on Yarrambull and get into the finals?
I find that really hard to pick. You'd think Hilltop should, but
Look, I'm going to go with Hilltop because I think them and Maroolin have been the form teams, and I think that's going to be the final everyone wants.
Yep.
And in reserve grade, we've got Hilltop taking on Exeter in the men's.
Yeah, well, who's to say Exeter can't get up? I mean,
Yeah.
I would have thought after watching them, Hilltop should get up, but you don't know that.
And in the women's, we've got Mossvale taking on Mittagong.
Well,
in the reserve grade.
that's going to be a huge game. That is actually going to be a huge game. Well, I'm going to say Mossy can get up.
Yeah, my heart says Mossy, but for Thomas Goodman, I'll pick Mittagong.
Yeah, well, I won't.
Can't wait to Saturday, guys. Let's go. And we've also got a preview Sunday.
Yeah.
The champions. We've got five Highlands teams taking on the best from Bankstown. 18th on Sunday over at Baronia Park. So head out there. We've got Yarrambull and Hilltop in the men's and women's. We've got the HFC in the 13s and 14s, and Yarrambull in the 15s. So good luck to those teams.
Yeah, get out and have a look. Last year, Hilltop with Premier League men, a great game, beat Camden team, I think.
So there's never enough football, is there?
No, never enough.
All right, we'll see everyone next week.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers.
Yeah.